Hello everyone, it's nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming back to my channel. For those who are new viewers, thank you very much for visiting my channel. Today we are going to talk about children's literature. Why should we study children's literature? Ladies and gentlemen, many strong reasons for studying children's literature are shaped by the objectives, values, beliefs, cerebral skills, etc. of the discipline in which the coursework is seated. But all courses across the wide educational spectrum share elements that invite us to study of children's literature, and once we choose to accept the invitation, rewards us generously for the cleverness of our choice. First and foremost, a study of children's literature brings into focus personal taste and beauty. This is true for any course in literature and no less for children's literature. Entangled with the question of taste is one of cultural privileging. The study of children's literature introduces students to a body of aesthetically challenging works that frequently go missing from other literature courses and from what is generally characterized as the canon. Okay, so far I hope you get the point. We continue it to the history of children's literature a little bit. The dissident aspect of the academic field of children's literature reflects its origin. Books and texts for children attracted scholarly attention in a transitional moment in education during a time of strenuous academic debate about the value of hierarchies such as a literary canon. The field of children's literature the field of children's literature retains in varying degrees some measure of the revolutionary spirit of those teachers who pointed out the inseparability of universal standards and systems of canonization from ideological and historical bias. Through engagement with literary works of outstanding merit that tend to be marginalized by the traditional academic model or in traditionally based curricula, students are introduced to competing narratives of literary history and to divergent views about the social and passional uses of reading. Right? Okay, now we are going to continue talk about the child in children's literature. Children's literature also offers students a distinctive critical position, a doubled or overlapping perspective consisting of one's own reactions and impressions, and a set of reactions and impressions one simultaneously conceives might belong to a child reader. And this is true. However, one understands the child or childhood, whether as a cultural construct, a unique existential mode of being with cognitive and cognitive abilities specific to itself, or as something else. By bringing the paradigm of the child first the interview, a course in children's literature provides students with a range of complex interrelated discourses. Indeed, it invites one to consider and respond to questions at the heart of human culture. What are our responsibilities to children and to the future? What will equip young people for meaningful lives filled with rewarding experiences, enriching relationships, learning, intellectual and emotional growth, and self-understanding? What is the best kind of society to enable a healthy and healthy future for children? These are questions that enhance capacity for informed citizenship and critical thought. So it is not that easy to study children's literature, but challenging enough. Maybe you have heard that some people said that children's literature gives a kind of simple text. It's not that simple one for college students who study children's literature. Yeah, just like others literature, children's literature need to be analyzed, to be criticized critically, right? You still listening, right? Okay, we continue. The separate disciplines hold out additional powerful reasons for studying children's literature. A literary approach to children's literature enables the students to read accomplished works created within a metric of constraints and procedures otherwise thought inimical to the conversations of various letters, texts of great city, moral complexity, and emotional force that especially avoid sophisticated diction, complex sentences, self-conscious connections to a corpus of modern and traditional literature, and able to lens of experience in the work or the reader's major sense of a finished self. It enables students to contemplate the myth and that society deems most pressing or most deserving of passing on to the next generation. So I repeat once again. By studying children's literature, students will be able to contemplate the myth that society deems most pressing or most deserving of passing on to the next generation. Furthermore, children's literature also enables students to read and study texts that rely in the part or in whole on pictorial narratives, as well as book design, typography, and the blurring of distinctions between textual and paratextual elements, therefore encouraging students to cultivate visual and tactile as well as verbal literacies. Students studying to be teachers learn how books might match up to reading levels and the developmental stages in child's life, and how they might impact the lives of children, improve on, and diminish their life. While those studying children's literature within a program in childhood and how they ramify within human culture. Students in a course of library science learn the practice and application by which younger readers might be introduced to the world's vast and unruly output of reading for children, and how they might be assisted in navigating their own ways through a maze of texts or brought with open minds to the frontier symbolic thought. Meanwhile, for literary students, they will be able to contemplate the myths that society deems most pressing or most deserving of passing on to the next generation. Okay, of course, um, uh, there are more than that. Children's literature is a symbolic thought. Of course, this last area is also broader interest. While dreams, movies, and televisions relentlessly unfold children in imaginative realities, reading often represents a child's first opportunity to reflect in a focused way on the means by which symbols are created, how symbolic thought is culturally evacuated and directed. When we study children's literature, regardless of the discipline in which we are situated, we grasp the many complex avenues through which society reflects on the operation of symbolic thought, and those perhaps on the origins of being human. Well, that's all for today about why study children's literature. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have different opinion or arguments, let me know in the box of comment. And if you understand the main point of this explanation, please let me know in the box of. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. See ya.